Hey traders, and welcome to this week's Forex Focus. I hope you've all had a wonderful weekend and you're ready and raring to go for the week ahead. Now in this show, what we do is we'll look at the major FX pairs and we'll look at the opportunities that could be setting up and presenting themselves for the week ahead. But what you have to remember is that everything that I talk about here is my own analysis, obviously, and my opinions. I'm not telling you to go ahead and go and take any of these trades. You still have to do your own due diligence, your own analysis, and decide whether or not you agree with what it is that I'm looking at and hence the trades that I'm looking at. Okay. And also, before we do get into the rest of the video here, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to make sure that you stay up to date with all of my videos as and when I release them. So if you don't want to miss one of my uploads, one of my analysis videos, make sure that you are subscribed and you'll get a notification as soon as it's uploaded. Okay. So with that being said, let's waste no more time and jump across to the charts. So we'll start by looking at the Australian dollar, and as always what we want to do is we want to jump out to the longer term chart to get a little bit of context around what it is that we're trading and hence what direction the market could potentially move to next. And as we can see here, obviously from a long term perspective, the market has been moving down. However, over the past couple of months after that initial sell-off, the market has rallied and recovered somewhat. Having said that, in the last month or so the last 3 to 4 weeks, let's call it, the market has pretty much just gone sideways. So it the market's at 0.6534, and the last time, well, going back to the 28th of April, the market was also in and around that sort of level. So as I said, from the 28th, 29th of April, the market has been in the same place, which means from a trading perspective, it's been a little bit choppy and a little bit difficult to trade. Fortunately, we don't just trade because we want to be in the markets. We wait for the right opportunities. And whilst the market is in a range, obviously you don't want to be trading that. So hence you shouldn't have been in too many trades at all. So how are we going to play this looking forward? If we take a look at the highs here at the 0.6573, the market went to break above those highs and then quickly sold back below. So I think going into next week, it's going to be key to keep an eye on this level here to see how it reacts. If we get momentum going into Monday's trading away from this level, so if we get a big sell-off down here, that's going to signal an opportunity to the downside, and then I will start looking for sell opportunities, okay, because I would deem that this sort of a sell-off from this level here will be the fact that the sellers waited for the market to push up above this level. This is where the bulls the buyers should have got involved at this particular level here. They didn't manage to do that. The very next day, the market pushed it down. The next day, it pushed it down even further. And if we get a momentum candle from here, then that really is an indication that we should have some opportunities to the downside. However, if the market doesn't do that and the market closes back up above this level, I'm going to be looking to take a buy above the 0.6615 level. And I'll be placing my stop roughly below the low, so somewhere around the 0.6493. That's if we get a break above that level, although everything at the moment is pointing to the fact that perhaps the market is respecting this previous high here and we will get a momentum move to the downside. So Aussie dollar could go one of two ways. If we get momentum to the downside, then I will be looking for a sell opportunity. However, if the market does break up and breaks above 0.6615, I will actually be buying that. That will be my buy opportunity right there. If we move on to the euro dollar is still within this sort of range here. And really, I don't want to be doing too much whilst it's in this range. So I'm going to wait until the market either breaks above the high of the 1.1015 or it breaks this ascending trend line over here, which is encapsulating all of these lows. So I need one of those to be broken in order for me to take a trade. And I should clarify that I won't be taking the trade directly on the break of this level. So I'll wait for the level to be broken, and then I'll wait for momentum or price action set up in the direction of the break. I won't just take a trade because it breaks a level, because the way that the market's looking right now, it could very well just be a case of the market breaks up above the level and then breaks back down again, or breaks below, then breaks back in. We're in a range right here, so we need to wait for some momentum in these markets before we can start to take some trades. If we look at the pound dollar, we can see the pound dollar last week, obviously, we were looking for the sell-off there. The market on the Monday literally just started trading against us and then went sideways for the rest of the week. I still believe we're going to get a sell-off in this pair right here, and I'm looking for opportunities to sell. I want the market to get below 1.2070. Once it does that, I am a seller. My stop is above the highs, and I'm going to be looking for the market to start trading towards, not necessarily all the way down to the lows, the 1.1468 or in and around that area, but at least towards that sort of level there. So I'm looking to take a break on the pound dollar beneath 1.2065. If you wanted to play this on a short term, then of course you could wait for that particular level to get broken and then look to play the pullback or the momentum. Okay, so look for the price action momentum candles and take breaks in the direction of the sell-off if we start to get that sell-off. If we move on to the New Zealand dollar is kind of not doing very much at all, to be honest with you. We thought that it was going to break down last week, but then all it did from Sunday's open was just trade up, up, and up. I'm not looking for a buy opportunity right now because it is capped by this high at 0.6179. And by the same token, I'm not going to take a sell from here either because we're sort of encapsulated by this ascending trend line over here. So really, we need to wait for momentum in one direction or the other before we get to take a trade, which I know is frustrating, but that's trading for you. And it's important that we keep our capital. We don't try and just jump in on anything that moves just because we want to be involved in the markets. We need to make sure that we take the right trades at the right time, and that's how we'll come out and we'll end up making money. The dollar CAD is playing with these lows over here. You can see from the daily chart, we're in a big range. And really, like all of them, we need to see some momentum in the markets, which, you know, from a fundamental perspective, I think it's going to take a little while because the markets are obviously looking at what's going on with the coronavirus situation. So from that perspective, until we get some real positivity in that situation, I don't think we're going to see too much momentum in either direction. But having said that, we need to be ready for it all the same. So from a dollar CAD perspective, I think that the next move will be higher, but at the moment it's in this range right here. So until it breaks out of this range, so to the upside around 1.4151-ish, above that level, or to the downside below 1.3855. That's when we can start to entertain trades. But whilst it's in this little range right here, it's just a case of leaving it alone and waiting for the opportunity. Same goes for the dollar franc. So the dollar franc is encapsulated in this triangle over here. We're going to wait for either the high of it to be broken or the low to be broken before we start to entertain trades, which will be, you know, momentum trades in the direction of the break if we get it. So it's really just a case of, you know, staying cautious, making sure that we keep an eye on the markets. And when we do get the momentum, then take the trade, but don't force anything before then, because I promise you, you will regret it. And finally, we've got the dollar yen. So the dollar yen as well is kind of in the middle of no man's land right now. Last week just further solidified that. It's moving sideways. So I'm waiting for the market to break with momentum above 108.08 or break below with momentum 106.01. And that really, I wish I could obviously tell you more to do with that particular pair, to do with the dollar yen, but really and truly, it is just going to be a case of waiting for the right opportunity to arise. And when we get that opportunity, then, you know, grabbing it with both hands. Okay, so that wraps up this week's Forex Focus. Unfortunately, there aren't as many opportunities as I would like. Obviously, we would like to have a lot more out there. You can definitely look at the crosses as well, because just because some of the majors aren't giving us the best opportunities, it doesn't mean that there won't be opportunities on the crosses there. The one thing that I will obviously caution you against is just trying to trade for the sake of trading. So, you know, if you're following these videos here and if you're just focusing on the major pairs, then that's absolutely fine. But we just have to have a little bit of patience. And I know that it's difficult, especially when you're new to trading. You feel like you need to be in the markets all the time, because if you're not in the markets, then you're not making money. But you need to think about the fact that if you're not in the markets, then you're not losing money either. And our job as traders is to take the highest probability trade setups when they present themselves and protect our capital and protect ourselves when we're not in the trades. Okay? So I hope that makes sense to you all. If you have any questions, please feel free to post it beneath the video. Otherwise, have a fantastic week in the markets, and I'll see you on next week's Forex Focus.